rand, soveel rand. En jy spandeer elke sekonde R100 van die dag wat jy, elke sekonde R100, van die dag wat jy wakker word, van die dag wat jy gebore is, tot die dag wat jy doodgaan, gaan jy meer as 99% van jou geld oor hê. Okay? Dis hoe groot hierdie getal is. As jy soveel balle het, netbalballe, sokkerballe, dan gaan dit so groot wees soos die aarde. Okay? As jy soveel donuts het, dan gaan jy dit om die aarde kan pak en 2 kilometer soos hoog diepte maak. Okay? So dit is ongelooflik baie. Okay? So en hoekom is dit so baie? Why do we group it in such a big number? Okay, it's because the particles are so small. Okay, so he counted them, I don't know in what way, but he counted them and he got to this number, and that number is considered 1 mole. So jy kan soveel geld hê, jy kan soveel donuts hê, maar waarin ons hier werk is atome, ione en molekules. Okay, because they're all very small. You can have so much protons as well, protone, elektrone, klein goedjies. Okay, then this mole has the mass equal to the relative atomic or formula mass of a substance expressed in grams. Sorry. Wat dit beteken is, as ek sê ek het 1 mole water, as I have 1 mole of water, then if I look at the molar mass of water, it's 2 plus 16, that gives me 18 grams per mole of water. En dit is 6,02 mol 10 to the mag 23 molekules van water. Okay, so they are all linked with one another. 1 mol is soveel deeltjies, en dit is gelinkt met die molare massa. That is linked with the molar mass of the particles. Ja. Hierdie ding? Hierdie ding. Wat noem jy die ding? Dis nie 'n pipet nie. Hierdie ding is 'n pipet. Wie is die toilet gedoen in hulle lewe? Okay? Jop. Piet is klein, bu is groot. So dis 'n buret in Frans. Buret, dan is dit 'n ster, en dit is 'n klein. Okay, right. Then we have molar mass. You all know after the previous chapter what is molar mass. Dit is die massa, so that's the definition. It's the mass of 1 mole of the substance. It's called its molar mass and it's expressed in grams per mole. En dis wat jy op die periodieke tabel kry, what you get on the periodic table. So molar mass is the mass of 1 mole of the particles. So dis wat ek hier daarbo probeer wys het. This is what I showed you there at the top of the page. If you look at sodium, as jy na natrium kyk, on the periodic table, the mass is 23 grams per mole. Dis sy massa. En dan as jy natrium vat en jy gaan weeg af, you go count 23 grams per mole, then you basically have 1 mole of sodium. Okay, so as jy by die huis gaan en jy gaan vat vir water, ek is terug hierbo. Jy vat water en jy gaan weeg water 18 gram af. So if you go weigh 18 grams of water at home, dis baie moeilik, maar dit is omtrent 3,5 teelepels. If you go measure that off, then you have 1 mole of water. Okay. So that if you go weigh off 23 grams of sodium, then you have 1 mole of sodium, which is 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 atoms of sodium. Ja, wat is fout? Dat is 2 mol. 56, 46. Ja. Okay. Then, what I said there regarding water. Dan as jy kyk na calcium chloride, calcium chloride, if you look at its molar mass, it's 111 grams together. So if you go way off 111 grams of calcium chloride, dan het jy 1 mol calcium chloride. Okay? So dit beteken jy het soveel formula units. Another word for that is so many molecules. Molecules van calcium chloride. Okay. Now, something that I did show both of your classes today is if you have a man and you split it up into head, body, arms, legs, okay, then one thing gives you 6 things. Okay, dieselfde hier met calcium chloride. Calcium chloride, you can split up into the calcium ions and the 2 chlorine ions. Okay, so then if you have 1 mole of this, it gives you 1 mole of that and 2 moles of that. Kan ek maar inzoom daar? Okay, so that is 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 molecules of calcium chloride and 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 ions of calcium and 12,04 times 10 to the power 23 ions of chlorine. Okay, so daai goeters kan jy oor en oor en oor en oor doen. Okay. Dan, wat is die molare gasvolume, molar gas volume? This is what Avogadro actually got in his experiment. Is he got all of 2 different gases at the same temperature, same pressure, blah blah blah, and then he discovered they have the same volume. Hy het ontdek hulle het dieselfde volume, selfde druk, selfde alles. So van daar af van sy ontdekking het hulle hierdie afleiding gemaak. So hulle sê the definition, 1 mole of any gas, enige gas, en jy het 1 mol van hom, and you are at STP. Waarvoor staan STP? Standard temperature and pressure. Then it will always occupy a volume of 22.4 decimeters cubed. Okay, nou ek sê eintlik bly ek hierdie ding gebring. Sê dit hoeveel water hierin is. Okay, hierdie is 'n 5 liter. So ek dink hierdie ding is soos 'n 15 liter. Voel dit daar? Okay. Julle weet jy kry iewers so klein bietjie groter. So you can want this a bit bigger, a bit more blockish. Yes? Okay. Hy is presies 22,4 liter. Okay, so I want you to imagine if you have 1 mole of any gas. Kom ons sê 1 mole suurstof, oxygen gas, 1 mole of oxygen gas. And you are at STP, by standaard temperature, then it will occupy this size. Hierdie volume. Okay, so think about the moles around us. So hoeveel keer gaan soos hierdie houer in hierdie klaskamer in? Baie. Okay? So 1 mole is how many particles? 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 particles. So daar is magdom deeltjies in hierdie klas op hierdie stadium. Wat jy kan sien. It's crazy. Moet jou brein helemaal doen. Okay. What is standard temperature and pressure? Standard temperature is 0 degrees Celsius and pressure is 101.3 kilopascal. Also considered 1 atmosphere. Are we currently at standard pressure and temperature? Nee! Ons drukking is verseker nie dit nie. Dit is baie laag. En ons temperatuur is verseker 0 grade Celsius. Okay, so we are not currently at STP. Okay. Goed. Dan het ons Avogadro se wet. And this law is important for calculations later on. Ja. Waar sal ons? O, jy sal dit kry. Ja, die Kaap is seker die naaste daaraan, die lange wat die weer is daai dag. Definitief Durban se kant toe nie, dis die see is te warm, so die atmosfeer is te warm. Definitief nie heeltemal Weskus nie, want dit is weer te koud. Daar onder langs. Ja.
Sorry, ek wil ook iets anders uitvra, maar hoe maak mense dit sinteties? Ek moet eers dink na die. Maar hoe maak mense dit sinteties? Hoe verander mens? As jy nou eksperiment doen, hoe verander jy die druk? Soos pomp jy gas in, wat doen jy?
Ja, maar jy kan die druk verander deur die temperatuur te verander of die volume te verander van die houer waarin jy is.
Spesiale metodie.
Ja, maar dit is ons volgende hoofstuk, praat ons alles oor temperatuur, druk en volume. Iemand se hand was opgewees. Iemand se hand nie? Okay. Alright, so Avogadro's law says that equal volumes of all gases at the same temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules. Okay, so if you keep everything constant, you'll have the same number of molecules. It doesn't matter which gas you have. Jy kan metaangas hê of suurstofgas of koolstofdioksiedgas of waterstofsulfiet of wat ook al, they will all have the same volume, same pressure, same temperature, same everything. Okay, dan hierdie formules, ken jy? Yes? Okay, so if we te veel deur hulle te gaan nie, I just want to recap that formula again. That is the number of particles, and remember particles can be anything. It can be atoms, ions, molecules, electrons, protons, neutrons, wat ook al, klein deeltjie. Okay, en NA is a constante, that is a constant, it is on your data sheet. Okay, so you don't have to go memorize it. Dan hierdie formule N is M oor M. Small m is the mass in grams, capital M is the molar mass that you find on your periodic table. Then this formula here is the volume over volume at STP, or the molar volume. Okay, so V is your actual volume that you have, wat die Phsc het, en Vm is your molar gas volume when you are at STP, wanneer jy by standaard temperatuur en druk is. And you can only use this formula if you're at STP and if you're working with a gas. As jy met 'n vloeistof werk of 'n solution of 'n solid, dan kan jy nie hierdie formule gebruik nie. Net as jy met 'n gas werk. Okay, and then this formula we worked with today. Is concentration in grams per mole. Okay, dan kan ons nou hierdie gaan opsom as ons sou wou, maar ek wil byvoorbeeld glad nie. Dis bietjie boring. What's fout? Yeah, it's not grams per mole. Thank you. Sy die enigste wat wakker is. Mol per kubieke desimeter. Sjo. Nee. Glad nie. You're not. Okay, you focus too much. Ek wou nou iets vir julle hierso gesê het. Just FYI, from this year on, kan hulle vir jou sê, goed, you're not at STP, but you're somewhere where the temperature and pressure and volume is kept constant. Okay? And then they'll say, hulle gaan vir jou sê, goed, you're at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, then the molar gas volume, so hulle gaan uitspel in woorde, hulle gaan dit nie vir die symbool nie, hulle gaan sê die molare gasvolume, vat dit as, wat vat dit, is definitief groter, vat dit as 28 kubieke desimeter. So they can say that, and then you have to substitute that part in VM. Okay. Goed, so they can say that, but we'll get to questions like that. Okay, kom ons kyk hoe lyk hierdie somme nou weer. Okay, ek het nog net 3 vrae gevra vandag. Hulle vra, hoeveel mol het 60 gram, en dan gee hulle vir ons NaOH. Brendan, wat is sy naam? NaOH. Aber, natrium, hydroksied, mooi. Terwyl ek die volgende vraag vra, Morney, sal jy vir my natriumhydroksied se massa gaan uitwerk, molare massa. They say there the mass is 60 grams and they ask the moles. Okay, so mol is massa oor molare massa, 60. Ons is reg vir jou as jy reg is, Morney. Okay, how did we get to 40? 23 plus 16 plus 1. Waar kry jy daai getalle op die periodieke tabel? Ag nee, nie 16 nie, 40. Jo, hierdie gaan 'n lang dag wees. Zak, wat is die antwoord? 1,5. 1,5 wat? Mol. Okay, next question. Onthou jy met jou hand opsteek as jy 'n vraag het, né? Ek dink hierdie is nog maklik. Okay, they ask. Sê weer? Nee, soos byvoorbeeld aan jy het 1 vraag oor, maar jy het nog niks gevra vandag nie. So jy het 5 vrae. Maar daar was nou 1 vraag, so jy het 4 vrae. Okay. Goed. Tel, daar is die vraag. Ek het op my luister half by deur, ek moet eerlik wees. Okay. Goed, hulle vra wat is die massa? Calculate the mass of 2 moles of die Andre. Wat is H2SO4 se naam? En terwyl sy daaraan dink, is Zak besig om sy massa uit te werk vir ons asseblief. But you could have said hydrogen sulfate, but that's the better one. Ja. Leo? Ja, is die volgende persoon. Jy kan vir Jane bel? Ja, maar 'n beter naam, sy alledaagse naam, Zak? Tazwar, do you know? H2SO4's common name? Sulfuric acid, swaalsuur. Ja, Zak, het jy hom uitgewerk? En dit is? 98. Okay, so remember when you write down a formula, you copy it exactly like it is on the data sheet, then you substitute the values, and then you rearrange. Yeah. You should be doing that in your head, Bodemelu. The answer, are you on it for the answer? Yo, we're at you. Yo, can you believe it? 1. And the unit? No. Mass? Just grams. That's what you shouldn't say. Tell him. Okay. Volgende ene. How many potassium ions are there in 3 moles of... Kayla, wat is daai ding se naam? Ja, kalium carbonate. Potassium carbonate. Yes. Yes. Okay, so they want to know how many potassium ions are there in 3 moles of potassium carbonate. Okay, nou, wat moet jy gaan uitwerk? Joh, kruip jy lekker weg, Hilke. Wat moet jy gaan uitwerk daar? So, soos, moet jy sy konsentrasie gaan uitwerk? Moet jy sy mol gaan uitwerk? Wat vra hulle? Lees die vraag mooi daar. Hoeveel kaliumione is daarin? Soos wat? Waar gaan ek my formule kry? Jy kan vir Kayla bel, maar Kayla se stem is seer, soos ek kan eintlik antwoord nie. Ja? Antwoord. Jy fluister vir my of jy fluister vir haar? Ja, ek soek 'n simbool, soos in 'n formule, wat 'n simbool gaan ek gaan uitwerk. Mooi, Amorey. Jy gaan, ja, ons kort oop vensters. Ons gaan die hoofletter N gaan uitwerk. How many ions? So they want the number of particles. Okay, capital N. Nou hierdie som kan tot 5 punte tel. Kyk, to 5 marks tells you to more practice. Okay. Goed, so die inligting wat ek jou gee is oor die hele ding, oor kalium carbonate. Okay, and the question is about the potassium ion. How do you go from... Hoe gaan jy van die formule na die ion nou? Hoe gaan jy van die hele molekule net na die ion toe? Wat? Ja, Kisha? Jy gaan dit opbreek. Wat noem ons daai proses waar dit opbreek? Die dissociasie reaksie, dissociation reaction, where potassium carbonate in the presence of water splits up into 2 potassium ions and the carbonate polyatomic ion. So one of this gives you 2 of those. Okay, so jy kan hierdie nou in 2 maniere doen. Jy kan of eers die molverhouding gebruik, Phsc use the mole ratio. and then calculate the number of particles, or first the number of particles, then the mole ratio. Since we're busy with the mole ratio, let's stick with that. Okay? So as hierdie mole is 3, then what will the mole of potassium ions be? As jy in Afrikaans Nadine, wat is die mol van die kaliumione? 6. Yes? Times 2. Okay? En nou gaan jy na die formule toe. N is capital N over NA. Ja, inzoom. Okay, hierso. Hulle sê vir ons, die aantal, hierdie een se mol is 3. Okay, 3. Nou, hierdie molverhouding, 1 molekule gee vir ons 2 van hierdie ione. Molverhouding is 1 tot 2. Okay, maar ons het nie 1 nie, ons het 3. So, om van daar tot daar te gaan, het ons gemaal met 2. So, om van hier tot daar te gaan, moet ons maal met 2, en dis ons 6 kry. Sharp. Yes. Ja. Nee. So, omdat hierdie polyatomiese ion is, dit word beskou as 1 eenheid, bly dit 1 mol. As hulle opbreek, dan is dit iets anders. Maar hulle gaan nie somme nie. So, daar sou ook, it would have been 3 carbonate ions. Ja. Behalwe? Ja. Okay. This is 6,02 times 10 to the power negative 23. Jy moet hom aan die kant toe vat, jy moet hom maal, en dan jy, as jy op het. Jy kan dit in jou kop doen. Ek glo in jou, ek weet het. Wat is 6 maal 6? Wat is 6 maal 2? Ja. Ag, dit moet positief wees. Sorry. Dankie. Nee, molekule is nie. Dit is wat dit is. Check what is your exponent then? Same thing, same. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Okay. Nate, just to I want to say save time, but hierdie is nog graad 10 werk. Ek gaan hierdie ene skip vir vandag, because it's the same type of question. I'm going to skip this one for today. I want to go to example 6. Okay, hulle sê daar vir jou, determine the volume of 8 grams of oxygen at STP. Now, when you see STP, you smile, because it makes life easier. Then you are allowed to use VM is equal to 22.4. Okay, Claude. They ask for volume. So to which formula do you think we will use to calculate volume? Okay, which is? Good. Alright. Now, they ask that. We know molar volume is 22.4, so we have that, but we do not have the mole. Problem, Bukamuso. How will I calculate the mole? Oh, sorry, I can't hear. Okay, which one? Wait, sorry, read it to me. Wait, because we have small m, it's the mass. We can get big M. What is big M for oxygen refilu? Hoekom is dit 32? Yes. 2 times 16 is 32. Alright, so we have our plan. There's 2 calculations. So dis hoekom hierdie vraag ook sal 4 punte tel, 4, 5 punte sal tel. Okay, so I'm going to start by calculating the mole. It's mass over molar mass. Mass is 8, molar mass is 32. Without a calculator, die moet so. What is 32 divided by 8? It's 4. I'm not long. 4. Alright. So now we don't have 4. Because we don't have 32 over 8. We have 8 over 32. So that is 1 over 4. Which is the same as what? Yeah? 25 moles. Good. Alright. Then we're going to go to this formula. Because we want to calculate the volume. The mole is 0.25 or a quarter. We want volume, and the molar gas volume is 22.4. And so basically dividing by 4. 5.6. And the unit? Cubic decimeters. Decimeters cubed. Okay, sharp. Then, this page on concentration, we just did it in the previous chapter. Last year, they were separate. The 2 chapters were far apart. So we had to revise. But you just did it, so you know all of this. You are so clever. Okay. Right, next one. Empirical formula. Empirische formule. Okay. What is an empirical formula of a compound? It gives the simplest ratio in which the elements of a compound are combined together. Okay? So if we count today, how many girls we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 13, 14, 17, 19. Okay, 19 girls, boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boys. Is ek reg? Het iemand my gecheck? Hoe het ek julle 2 nie uitgelos nie? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 en 19. Right, so what is the simplest ratio between these two? Oh, how, what? The simplest ratio is 9 and 19. Is there a common factor? No. Nee, daar is nie. Okay? If we were to use decimals, dan sou dit gewees het 1 en dit sou gewees het 2, something. Okay? So dit is wat 'n empiriese formule is. Empirical formula is the simplest ratio. For each boy there's 2.111 girls to pair up with. Okay. Good, so if we look at the molecular formula, the abbreviation, the MF stands for molecular formula. It is a multiple of the empirical formula. Okay, so it's a veelvoud van die empiriese formule. So kyk hier na kookkloried, mercury chloride. Then this is what mercury chloride actually looks like, the formula. But since there's a 2 and a 2, the simplest ratio is that. Okay? Hier so het ons peroxide. Where do we use peroxide in everyday life? Karabu? Peroxide. Yes? No, definitely no shampoo. Your hair will fall out. It is when you bleach your hair. But you also use it where? Waar in medies? Om goed skoon mee te maak. Waar gebruik is dit nog? Ja, ons kan gebruik in swembaddens en om elephant toothpaste te maak mee. Gebruik ons ook peroxide. elephant toothpaste, where they add things and this whole thing goes up, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so it is peroxide. This is the molecular formula, but its simplest ratio, because there's a 2 and a 2, is H and O. Hier is water se molecular formula. Can we simplify this anymore? No, because you can't get something like HO 0.5. Okay, we work in whole numbers, so dit is ook sy empiriese formule. Right, so how do we get empirical formula again? Blah, 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 blah. Julle sal anyway uit as ek lees, so let's do it and we show it. Okay. So, when they ask for empirical formula, calculate it, determine it, jy hoef nie hierdie tabel te gebruik. You do not have to use this table. Okay? You can use the table, you have to draw your own table, maar jy hoef nie. Jy kan 'n stappie vir stappie self ook doen. Okay, so they say the percentage composition of the following is so much for potassium, carbon, oxygen. So wat jy dan doen is, omdat hierdie persentasies is, because these are all percentages, you consider them actually to be out of 100 grams. Jy sê dis, kom ons maak asof dit uit 100 gram is. Okay, so speel. So uit 100 gram gaan ek net presies hulle persentasies gaan neerskryf. You just copy their percentages. Okay, now sometimes I won't give you the percentages, I'll just straight give you the grams. Okay, then you don't have to do the first step. Then you just skip the first step completely and you go to the second step. Okay, in die tweede stap wil jy hulle hoeveelheid mol gaan uitwerk. Now, here it's very important that you write down the formula at least once. Die formule ten minste een keer gaan neerskryf. Okay, baie belangrik. Mol is mass over molar mass. Goed. Excuse toch? So hierso gaan ek sê 56.5 over, what is the molar mass for potassium, Fatima? 39, and Simpiwe is busy calculating. Then, what is the molar mass of carbon, Bontle? 12. Alright. But you can calculate it so long. And then, Orifilwe, what is the molar mass of oxygen? But isn't oxygen a diatomic molecule? So shouldn't we multiply that too? Nee, I'm trying to confuse you. Okay? Ons is nie besig hier om te kyk na die diatomiese molekule nie. We're busy looking at an oxygen. A oxygen, een suurstof molekule. Okay, so I'm asking that question because a lot of the time the learners make that mistake. Hulle sê maar suurstof is diatomies, so ek moet maar met 8 deel deur 32. Nee. You're looking at one molecule, 16. Okay, simply I'm ready for you. Don't round off. Just it. So 1.4444444. No, I get 1.4. What? Yeah. 1.4487. Okay, Bonte, next one. 0.725. And the last one. Okay, good. So daarvoor kry jy 3 punte. For that you get 3 marks for each calculation done correctly. Okay, then we need the simplest ratio. So toe ek nou hierso, okay, die eenvoudigste verhouding wou kry, wat het ek gedoen, Jaden? Toe ek hierso die eenvoudigste verhouding wou kry, wat het ek gedoen? Ja, nie die verhouding nie, die eenvoudigste verhouding. Gedeel deur wat? Die kleinste getal. So 9 was the smallest one, so I divided by 9, divided by 9. Gonna do the same here. You take the smallest number, which is that one. Jy gaan hom deur omdeel en nou gaan jy afrond. Round off. Johanna, jy gaan die eerste een vir ons doen, Ingemar die tweede ene, Brendan die derde ene. English, how's it going with Afrikaans?
Yo, so perfect. I never understood. I never thought I would learn so much Afrikaans in that black.
Geen jong. Engels, Afrikaanse kinders, Engels? Ja, Zak? Hierso, dis altyd die beste as jy 4-5. Want dit is nog nie jou finale antwoord nie. Hierdie ene. Die volle heelgetal. Okay, Johanday. Okay, 2, next one. Yeah, last ene. 3. Okay, so we have potassium. We have 2 of them. Koolstof, carbon, 1 of them. And oxygen, 3. Lyk hierdie ding vir jou bekend? Ja. So hierdie empiriese formule is ook die molekulêre formule. Right. Morney, wat is sy naam? Daai ding wat vir jou bekend lyk. Calcium of kalium? Kalium. Potassium carbonate. Potassium carbonate. Kalium carbonate. Right. Let's look at the next one. They say there, find the molecular formula of a compound with the following percentage composition, and it has a formula mass of that. Okay. So, om die molekulêre formule te kry, to find the molecular formula, you first need to go find the empirical formula. Altyd eers die empiriese formule bepaal en dan kan jy die molekulêre formule bepaal. First empirical, then molecular. Okay. So 40, 6.7, 53.3. Ek dink julle is almal slim, so I'm going to let you try that one on your own until you find the empirical formula. Okay? Ja, hoef nie. Okay? Okay, is julle klaar? Yes. No, not the whole thing, just the empirical formula. Ek is so bly. Dit is eintlik jou gunsteling. Ja. Physics. Jy gaan vinnig 'n paar moet kry, want jy het nog steeds 50% van jou werk is fisika. Maar wil jy net kry jy 100% vir chemie? Nee, so wil jy 40% kry? Gaan 'n bietjie. O, ekskuus, ek het nie geweet het afgegaan het. Sorry. Okay, so CH2O, that's the empirical formula, but we want the molecular formula. They told us the molecular formula is mass. We don't know what it is, but the mass is 60 grams per mole. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the mass for this one. Okay, it's... ja, wat se deel? Ek het gesê, dit is die empiriese formule, maar hulle het gevra vir die molekulêre formule. Hulle het wel ons weet nie wat die molekulêre formule is nie, maar ons weet die massa is 60 gram. Okay, so ons gaan dit gebruik om die molekulêre formule uit te werk. Okay, so die empiriese formule se massa, the empirical formula's mass, is 12 plus 2 times 1 plus 16, and that gives you 30. Saak is vinnig wees om al jou vrae op te gebruik. Maak seker jy wil hierdie vraag vra. Okay. Right. So what you're going to do is you can divide, you can deel, dis 'n verhouding. Okay? So the molar mass, the molecular formula, die molekulêre formule se massa daarbo, dit al is dit 16. En ons het nou net die empiriese formule se massa gekry. We just got the empirical formula's mass to be 30. So the ratio is 2. 1 to 2. Okay? So that means the molecular formula is twice the empirical formula. Die molekulêre formule, as jy die EF soontoe vat, is hy 2 keer die empiriese formule. Okay? So that's 2 times CH2O, wat jy daarbo uitgewerk het. 2 keer hy. And that gives you C2H4O2. Wat is die deel?
So this is the
From there. Okay, so that is the mass of the empirical formula. They gave us the mass of the molecular formula to be 60. Okay, so I said the ratio between these two, ratio is just dividing. So 60 divided by 30 gives you 2. So what that means is, if I take that to the other side, the molecular formula is twice the empirical formula. So this was the empirical formula, so I just have to multiply it by 2. So 2, 4, 2. Ciao. Okay. In Afrikaans ook vir iemand weer verduidelik? Nee?
11.
Okay, just wait. Alright, graad 11. It is now 3:05. I'm going to give us a 10-minute break and then we're going to go on. Okay.